statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Happy holidays.
Likewise.
Thank you. There we go. We're in it. We're in this season, boy. Make no mistake. See that on the weekends now in the malls, right? Shoppers everywhere. I'm the guy that you'll see on Christmas Eve roaming around lost and forlorn in the mall. No, that's true. Something I've done that ever since I can remember. I like being out on Christmas Eve shopping. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I know. Can't. Some people would think, "What's the matter with you?" And but I just find myself there. You know, not lost and forlorn at all. Yeah, scrambling around trying to buy this or that.
You're not alone.
No, I know.
No, I'm right there.
There's a lot of people out there on Christmas Eve.
The 3 days before Christmas Eve, it's madness.
Yeah. Oh well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a nice weekend and your football team won, whatever team that may be. And the Buccaneers did pretty well here in Tampa, remarkably well. It's interesting. So this holiday season, one of the things that people lose a lot of, besides their money in the shopping, is sleep. People lose their sleep because routines get so busted up, and you suffer sleep deprivation. And this could go on for several weeks. And there's a lot of anxiety, stress and anxiety, disruption of patterns, lifestyle patterns, which all upsets the sleep cycle. Drinking too much caffeine from one source or another, eating unhealthy foods, the wrong foods that make you tend to lose sleep. So I have a couple of stories related to sleep. I'll report on them. They're kind of interesting. One, a little bit about the history of sleep. We always didn't sleep the way in the pattern that we do currently. This wasn't all that long. I'm not talking about our ancient ancestors, but our ancestors did things a little differently. I've talked about this before, but it merits a revisit. And then I came across an interesting article about sleep deprivation and Navy SEALs. Sometimes Navy SEALs have to go for 2-3 days without any sleep, no sleep, none, zero. You know, zero. You cannot sleep. And they train, in the training, apparently, they put them through sleep deprivation exercises. Go for 2, 3, or maybe I don't know how many days. More, I don't know how much more. 3 days and strange things start to happen. I'll explain. So I'll talk about these two stories related to sleep. And then I want to do a little commentary and talk about This business of there's all, the federal government. I am not one of those people at every bend and turns attacking the federal government. I just don't. There's no payoff in doing that. When they do things wrong, I'll talk about it relative to health. But they do the bureaucrats, and that's not a bad thing, by the way. Bureaucrats do a pretty remarkable job in creating reports, doing the research, figuring things out, creating programs for health, for the health of the nation. One of the agendas and one of the primary objectives of federal government is to protect and to enhance and to help develop the health of people, to help people make themselves healthy. That's one of its jobs. Now, some people have different opinions about how good a job they're doing, but I have learned a lot and gained a lot of information from government websites about our nation and the health of the nation. They put out a number of different reports. So I was looking at some of these, and the one article I came across talking about healthier people, 20 years of public health achievements. And that's one of the agendas of the federal government is the public health and all these different programs to promote it. I want to talk a little bit about that. I was looking at the list that was provided about achievements in public health. And there was something conspicuously absent in this particular list. And in a lot of the discussions that I read and reports that I read about the health of the nation, there's something conspicuously absent. And I'll identify that and comment on it. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. So as I was mentioning, the holidays, your sleep is going to get disrupted. And typically, we have been taught you got to get 8 hours of sleep in order to really regenerate your body and give your body a chance to help heal itself, do the repairs it needs to do, regenerate itself, reconstitute itself, whatever. Repair, regenerate, reconstitute. So I came across this story from ABC News Health. Headline was, "Forget 8 hours sleep. Find out the unusual way our ancestors slept." It was sort of an unusual way. Now, there's no breaking headline. And by the way, if you're watching the show at letstalknutrition.com, which you can, there's an interesting image that went with the story. And I'm giving attribution to Gillian Mahoney, who wrote the article. Wrote a very nice piece, by the way. And there's an interesting image there. I love that image, painting of people trying to sleep. It's not breaking news that people need to sleep and that sleep deprivation can disrupt the health of people. I mean, I've talked about that for a long, long time on the show, since the inception of the show. And that at different ages and different stages of our life, we need different amounts of sleep. A newborn, for example, needs, 3 months old, needs more sleep than an older adult, 65 plus years. A newborn up to 3 months, probably somewhere in the range of close to 18 hours of sleep. An infant, 4 to 11 months, somewhere in the range around about 18 hours. A newborn, maybe 20 hours. Toddler, 1 to 2 years of age, about 16 hours of sleep. Preschool, 3 to 5 years of age, 14 hours. You get the point. And it starts to decrease as you get older. But an older adult, 65 plus years, still needs 8 plus hours of sleep. There's a myth that elderly people don't need as much sleep. That's a bunch of baloney. They're not sleeping a lot and not getting enough sleep for a lot of different reasons. It's not because they don't need to. So when we come back, I'll share with you the sleep pattern of some of our, previously, prior to modern society. up until the late 19th, early or 20th century, with the Industrial Revolution, prior to that, there was a sleep pattern going on that was very different from the way we sleep now. And I'll describe it for you. It's interesting. And there's this professor who has studied this, a Dr. Gurman, who knows a lot about it, which the writer of the article, Gillian Mahoney, referenced. And then I'll talk about the Navy SEALs who go sometimes for as much as 3 days with zero sleep. You know, what happens to you when you do that?
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Xenia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Xenia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Xenia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Xenia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Xenia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, collagen, and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you are strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Xenia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Xenia by name. Start taking Xenia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you've never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Jordan Rubin, founder and CEO of Garden of Life. Oceans 3 was created with a simple premise in mind. Develop a line of premium omega-3 fish oil formulations that met or exceeded the market leader in quality, and then go beyond omega-3 by providing amplified benefits and value to the consumer. Oceans 3 contains ultra-pure, high-potency fish oil, along with astaxanthin and fucoxanthin. Each of these ingredients, when taken individually, have superb benefits. When they are combined into the exciting compound omega-xanthin, they work synergistically to amplify their already amazing benefits. In addition to the synergy of omega-xanthin, Oceans 3 offers unrivaled purity and greater value than the leading omega-3 fish oils available today, making the Oceans 3 family of products the best choice for anyone looking to add a healthy dose of omega-3 fats and a giant dose of extraordinary health to their lives.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Canavest, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Well, we just take it for granted that the way we sleep, the pattern that we have now, our sleep pattern, it's always been that way. Well, not really. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. 877-897-8255, toll free, call anytime you want. Before Tommy Edison, you remember Tommy Edison? I cracked a joke one time. I was talking about him, and I don't know if I was talking about this particular topic. And I remember saying something about somebody going up to Edison and saying, "Hey, Tommy, what about that light thing? You got that worked out?" Nevertheless, before the advent of electricity, people...
I imagine that with like a New York accent, too. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Tommy, you got that thing going? What's going on over here?"
Exactly. Well, before the advent of electricity, before Edison put that all together, and thank you, Mr. Edison, people slept in two different distinct stages or sections or phases. The first started shortly after sundown. When the sun went down, they went to sleep. There's a fellow by the name of Dr. Philip Gurman. He's a professor of psychiatry at the University of Pennsylvania, and he's written and talked about this, and it was reported in this article written by Gillian Mahoney. And Dr. Gurman points out that he says, quote, there was, after their first sleep, they would have a period of quiet wakefulness, and they might not get out of bed or do stuff, and then settle into a second sleep and would spend the rest of the night asleep, Dr. Gurman said. And I have read other articles where they said that people would get up, though, after this first phase and do things. They wouldn't necessarily stay in bed, that they would get up and do things and then go back to sleep. This was called in the literature, it's called biphasic sleep. And think about how this came about. Sundown, no electricity. There are no cafes to go to, no street lights, right? So people went to bed, get up, go back to sleep until the late 19th and early 20th century with the Industrial Revolution. That was the standard pattern of sleep. It was biphasic. Then as Edison, when he invented the filament light bulb, then the need to go to sleep at sundown wasn't all that necessary. It became, in fact, unnecessary and irrelevant because there was light and people could stay up. They could do whatever they wanted. They could read, they could go out, they could go to the bar, they could go to a little cafe, whatever. And so lifestyle started to change. And from the late Middle Ages on to the 19th century, that people would stay in bed to meditate and often reflect upon their dreams. And they would even pray. So, it's very different. So now we have this pattern where we sleep for 8 hours, or we should, or try to. But it always hasn't been that way. Some people question whether or not humans really need 8 hours of sleep. I don't question it. I know anecdotally from my own experience. I need 8. I do. So I can get away. I can get by. I often say I can get by with 6, 7 is better. 8 is great. But I can't go for very long on 4 or 6 hours of sleep. I can't do that for very long. My performance level goes right down. Hard to concentrate. I have more difficult time writing, producing the show, doing the show. I can't do it. Some people have to do it because of their job. Navy SEALs are trained to go without sleep and to suffer sleep deprivation. I came across this was interesting, came across an article by Julie Barzilay where she talks about this. This was another ABC News story, and how Navy SEALs handle sleep deprivation. And she reports that, you know, the Navy SEALs, it's no secret, Navy SEALs are pretty tough, and they're an elite group of military soldiers, military people that can go and perform without sleep, but they're trained to do that. And the only way you train somebody to do that is that have them experience sleep deprivation. So in this article, Julie Barzilay talked about a fellow named Stu Smith. He was a former Navy SEAL, and said he survived for 3 days on no sleep before beginning to do what? Hallucinate. He was up for 3 days. About after 72 hours of sleep deprivation during Smith's training, he recalls mistaking an airplane for a flying horse, perceiving a bridge as a giant Pez dispenser, and seeing a squat, muscular bodybuilder where there was, in fact, a fire hydrant. He was hallucinating. Smith and the other soldiers with whom he was training had another 2 days of running, swimming, paddling, climbing, and plunging into freezing water, Barzilay reports. In total, he and his team had to stay awake for a punishing, are you ready? 5 days. No sleep. And they weren't just sitting around. They were swimming, paddling, climbing, jumping, running, whatever.
That probably helped the feet out, huh?
I guess. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but oftentimes when they're on a mission, they can't go to sleep. So they have to be trained to go without sleep. Not without consequences, though. Get your sleep.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, humble beginnings, advancing wellness, never tested on animals. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Now Foods, our products work. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Please call the number, 877-897-8255, if you have a question, a comment, something that you would like to share related to what we're talking about, or you may have something off topic, and that's okay too. So almost 5 years ago to the day, almost, not quite, it was around December 5th, 5 years ago, where the United States Department of Health and Human Services unveiled what they call the Healthy People, the update for it was Healthy People 2020. And what that is the federal government's attempt to create goals and objectives for health promotion and disease prevention in our country. And if you go to the Department of Health and Human Services, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and check out their web, you can find this Healthy People 2020 report and its various elements quite readily. It's not difficult to find. And what's interesting about it is that they identify in the report all sorts of interesting facts about life expectancy and mortality, health risk factors, and and so on. It's an extensive report, hundreds of pages. And I use that as a sort of a context to then jump to a story that I found by Ingrid Hein on Medscape. If you go to medscape.com, you'll find the story entitled Healthier People, 20 Years of Public Health Achievements. And in her article, Ingrid Hein talks about, this is a recent article this month, November 20th. She talks about living longer and healthier, and that people are living longer and allegedly healthier. And for a number of different reasons. Immunization adherence, physical and nutritional therapies, she reports are improving, at least according to one of the sources that she cites. Tobacco use, lower decline, lower teen pregnancy rates, sexually transmitted diseases, education, lowered rates of injury from auto accidents as major successes in the last 20 years. And all that's true. And I have no issue with that at all. There's been a decline in cardiovascular disease, although heart disease is still the leading cause of death in our country. There's been a reduction in tobacco use. These are all good things. Maternal and infant health has improved. True, it's good. Then you got unintentional injuries and motor vehicle accidents have declined. There have been a lot of achievements. Substance use and addiction, although that's up a bit. Infectious diseases and infections and vaccine preventable diseases. Better records of health, electronic recording and maintenance of health records has helped improve health. Providing health insurance to people has improved their health. These are all great achievements. And so I'm going through the list. And I'm thinking, really? What about the obesity epidemic? What about the type 2 diabetes epidemic that's running in parallel with the obesity epidemic? What about the sedentary lifestyle that dominates our culture? It dominates. Make no mistake about it. Anybody who doesn't believe that, please go and do some research. Look at the statistics. Look at the studies. This is a society of convenience and abundance. And I'm thinking, these are missing. They're not talking about that. There's this fiction that the obesity epidemic has leveled off. There was just a new study came out now saying that's not true. It's up, and it's keep going up. We have not even come close to abating or moderating the effects or the causes of this epidemic. We're not even close. You know, close? We'll be on Mars before we get this epidemic squared away. We will have somebody on Mars. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And then you start to think about, you have to think in rudimentary terms. What are the rudiments of health? What are the basic fundamental rudiments? Diet, lifestyle, which are big variables. Lifestyle includes all kinds of things: sleep, physical activity, relationships, and so on and so on. And then there's diet. And I'm not persuaded or convinced in any way that young children, have a healthy relationship with food. That the majority of children have a healthy relationship with food. The obesity epidemic among children is shameful, stunningly shameful. And what we're not doing, the federal government and others, what we're not doing as a nation is changing the way the food supply, what food is in the food chain, and the nature of the relationship that people have with food, and lifestyle factors and variables. We're not making much progress in educating people about that. Although there's, in the information age, the internet is awash with one piece of information after another about diet and lifestyle, and it is almost meaningless because it's not affecting any change. This is a case of so much information and nothing's happening on the other side of the equation. So what is my point? When they come out with these reports about 20 years of public health achievements, what about an opposite report? How about 20 years of room where we need room for improvement and identify those areas? And at the top of the list is educating people about diet, lifestyle, and not just why, but how. And they're going to say, oh, there's all kind of information about that. My point is that the information isn't working. We'll be back.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. One, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and two, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
Are you tired of taking vitamin pills or powders? How about gummy vitamins with high fructose, corn syrup, or coloring? Finally, you have a choice with Nature's Dynamic whole food gummy supplements and probiotics made by a dad. Imagine getting benefits of your garden in a delicious gummy supplement. Nature's Dynamics utilizes organic, plant-based vitamin and mineral sources with non-GMO, gluten, soy, and dairy-free ingredients in a delicious gummy for the whole family. Nature's Dynamics has berry garden gummies made by a dad, multivitamin, omega-3 and probiotics for kids, body boost joint relief, whole food bone and calcium gummy, whole food immune and vitamin C gummy, whole food omega-3 gummy, Be Beautiful hair, skin, and nails gummy, prenatal plus gummy, whole food probiotics for digestive support, and body boost energy and wellness multivitamin for him and her in a delicious, easy to digest gummy. To learn more about Nature's Dynamics or to find a retailer near you, visit naturesdynamics.com or madebyadad.com. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by a dad.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
So I wasn't being hypercritical about the federal government and these programs. I'm just trying to make a point. These reports are fine, well, and good that talk about, and we need to have these programs like Healthy People 2020 and other government programs where, the federal government's their job. It's part of their job where they're trying to promote public health. and prevent disease. Promote health, prevent disease. That's what they're supposed to do. But, you know, sometimes some of this becomes a little incestuous and self-serving. And there's a lot of room for improvement here. And there's not enough focus on how to do something. For example, I wrote an article entitled "Finding a Way to Stay Healthy Through the Holidays." And I commented that in the piece that besides receiving that dreaded ugly Christmas sweater, boy, how ungrateful am I, there are any number of other unwanted holiday gifts, like cold and flu, lots of stress, an abundance of unhealthy foods and beverages, loneliness, depression, traveling nightmares, and never mind weight gain, that unhealthy, unreturnable gift that keeps on giving, right? And then I could go on and talk about why is it important to stay healthy during the holidays? People don't want to hear that. They know why. You got to tell them how. So in the article, and see, that's where I think some of these programs fall down a little bit. But the truth be told, it's very difficult to educate the general population and teach and persuade and get people to do things, even when you tell them how. It's still hard. No doubt about it. So that being said, in this article, I talk about nutritional holiday strategies and lifestyle holiday strategies. How? For example, one of the first things I mention in the piece is to practice conscious eating. What happens to most of us, we tend to eat in an unconscious way. In other words, we're so habituated in the way that we eat, we don't think about what we're eating anymore. And even when we deviate from our habituated eating pattern, we're still not conscious about what we're doing. And it takes practice to be conscious about what you're eating and to move away from the sort of mindless eating approach. So I talk about how do you find a way to stay healthy during the holiday? 1, practice conscious eating. Conscious eating means what? Means being informed and creating a plan that's made up of the best nutritional choices to make and then to put the plan into day-to-day behavioral action. In other words, think before you eat, especially during the holidays. That's a very concrete way to talk about it. See my point? Rather than talking about why is it important to stay healthy through the holidays? God, that's boring. It's how. Think before you eat, especially when now you go to these Christmas parties and New Year's Eve parties and all these holiday parties of one sort or another, celebrating one religion or another or one thing or another, whatever. And to think before you eat. And mindless eating is a feature of holiday eating. It is. People are not thinking about, oh, I'm going to gain weight or this is not good to do. They're just having a good time. So that's a concrete strategy. I'll give you another one. Portion control. You have to practice. And I always say practice. You have to practice portion control. What am I talking about? This is not a hard concept. It's what it means, right? You know what it means. Limiting the amount of food or otherwise calories that you're consuming. Now, that being said, I mentioned in the article that it's hard to practice portion control, and you have to be conscious about it. You have to really think about it. You have to put it, in your head. I'm going to practice conscious eating. I'm going to practice portion control. If those are the only two things you do during the entire holiday, you're going to be better off. If those are the only two things you will ever do regarding your health, you will be better off. Those two things at all. Just those two things, your health will improve. I promise you. It's guaranteed. Because when you practice portion control, you're going to help prevent surging blood glucose and insulin levels. You're going to help you're going to have better metabolic balance. You're going to probably do better with weight gain. You're not going to gain as much weight. I could go on and on. You're going to feel better. Practice conscious eating and portion control. If those are the only two things you did for the rest of your life in terms of your health, you'll be all right in many ways. It won't be enough, but you'll have to do other things. But if those are the only two things I could get a person to do, I would consider that a success. And in the article, I talk about what is portion control. I talk about what is a serving size, and I explain all that. I won't get into detail on that. Then I give another very simple strategy. These are small wins. Now, admittedly, conscious eating and practicing conscious eating and portion control are difficult to do. If you can do it at least some of the time, it's a small win. There's another one. Eat slowly. Practice eating slowly. As I say in the piece, speed racing is one thing. Speed eating is an entirely different matter, because when you eat fast, you tend to do what? Eat a lot. And then when you eat fast, you don't give the body a chance to release those hormones that create a feeling of fullness, and you keep on eating. It's a simple strategy. Eat more slowly. And I've been with people, and I'm sure you've had this experience. You sit down with them, you're out at your home or wherever, or you go out to dinner, and you order, and you're sitting there eating, and you're talking, and you're not paying attention to what they're eating or how much. And then you look down on their plate, and you're not even halfway through, and they're done. So where did that food go? Where was that Hoover sweeper that cleaned all that up? It was right in front of you. Wait before going back for seconds. Another simple strategy. Wait. Takes a few minutes before the signal from the stomach gets to the brain that you're full. These are simple things, but they got to be practiced. Come back, we'll talk some more.
statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. And it's great. Good to be here. Glad you're there. I'm glad I'm here. And we're here together. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. The show airs coast to coast, Monday through Friday. Couple of hours. It airs live 9 to 11. It does air in different times in different markets, so check your local listings, please. I was talking about, focus on the how. Sometimes you got to talk about why you need to do something, of course. But like finding a way to stay healthy through the holidays. I wrote an article about that, and if I would have spent the article talking about why you need to do that, that's fine. That's okay, I guess, but what do you accomplish? That's not going to persuade people to do things. It doesn't work. I know it doesn't. You have to focus on how, along with the why. So finding a way to stay healthy through the holidays. My guest in this portion of the show will be Audrey Ross, Dr. Ross, and she's a regular guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. I was just wondering, let me put her on the spot. I love doing this with my guests. Dr. Ross, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition.
Thank you.
So, finding a way to stay healthy through the holidays. What do you think people need to do to make that happen? Not why. I'm not interested in why. How do we do that, Dr. Ross?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just be realistic.
Be realistic. What do you mean? Why? So, you're assuming that people are unrealistic about this?
No, they go extremes. I see a lot of people that do the extreme. They're like, "Oh, I can't do this," and then what happens is they want it more when they say they can't have it.
Don't I know?
You're not going to have a perfect diet through the holidays. I mean, that's a given. People need to accept that. And what happens, and I would see it a lot in practice, is people would say, okay, I am going to do very, very strict during the holidays. And they end up putting so much stress upon themselves that they don't even enjoy themselves. And that's what part of the holidays are for. So be realistic means, okay, you know that there are going to be those occasions where you might have something you know you wouldn't normally eat during the rest of the time, but it is the holidays.
But
be realistic.
But isn't being happy during the holidays and healthy, aren't those really exclusive, mutually exclusive? It's almost impossible to be happy and healthy during the holidays. And we say that all the time, right? You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to bait you here. Come on.
I know. We strive to be happy during the holidays, and healthy is kind of a secondary. But sometimes it goes healthy versus happy. But subconsciously, I think people need to realize that it's okay to be happy and maybe not be as healthy as you know you should be. But healthy is something that you do 365 days of the year, 80% of the time.
Why isn't there the possibility of being happy in a healthy way? What's wrong with that?
You can have that.
How? How do you do that? When you're eating that piece of pumpkin pie that's covered, you can't see the pie for the whipped cream. Right? And you get my point. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to be happy in a healthy way, or maybe not. I don't know. I haven't talked about it that way.
It's not, because just as you said, do you need to cover the pie in all the whipped cream so you can't see the pie? Be realistic. Don't say, I can't have the pie. Say, I'll have a piece of pie with a little bit of whipped cream. It's okay. So the realistic part comes into, just because it's the holidays, I can eat half a pie with, a whole jar of whipped cream on top of it? No. So, yes, you can have happy and healthy together.
They're not, in other words, they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. I would be interested in hearing from the listeners or viewers of the show if they have any ideas about how can you be happy in a healthy way during the holidays. How can you be happy in a healthy way during the holidays? Somebody ought to write a book, being happy during the holidays in a healthy way. Okay.
I like that. I better get started on that right now.
I wonder how you do that. Is it the nature of the food that gets us into trouble? How much we're eating? Is it both of those things? What do you think here?
I think it's both of those things. And I would see a lot of times people would say, I've already had one piece of pie. I've already messed up my diet. I'm going to eat half the pie now. So it is a lot to do with that. But also, when you do, I listened to the first part of the show, and we talk about how the body will then digest that food and how it's going to eliminate that food. And, enzymes are an important part. And I think I see a lot on Thanksgiving especially, where people sit back after their overeating Thanksgiving meal and feel terrible. Well, that would be a great place for papaya enzymes to come in to help with that digestion part.
When you were in practice, did you ever talk with your patients about conscious eating, practicing conscious eating?
Yes.
You did. Did you have much success in getting people to eat, instead of eating mindlessly, to eat consciously? Or was it a nice thing to say, but you knew they weren't going to do it?
Well, it depended on the person. I would say about 60% of the people that I talked to about that managed to succeed in conscious eating. That 40%, it was, lots of fluff words, but it never happened. So more often than not, it happened, but not near 100%.
I think it's hard to practice conscious eating. I think it's very difficult because from the time we're born and throughout most of our lives, our eating behavior is sort of mindless. We're so habituated that we eat mindlessly.
And, thinking about it, I realized that the people who did the conscious eating were those who had just been either diagnosed with an illness or were trying to fight off an illness or some type of disease process. So those who had a real reason to do it definitely did. But
I see.
People who were just coming in going, I want to get healthy, what do I do?
You say to them, practice conscious eating, and their eyes glaze over.
And they go, oh, okay, and then leave and never do it.
Yeah. No, you say, yeah, I know, but tell me what I need to do. I just told you, practice. No, but what do I really need to do? You need to practice. Let's go to Largo, Florida. Joan in Largo, welcome to the show, Joan. It's great to have you on. What about being happy now?
Well, how it sounds like, we look at cause and we look at symptoms. It looks like we're talking mostly about symptoms of eating, but what's the cause? I just challenge that people look at their mindset, because happiness comes from within, not from without. And I myself really don't celebrate holidays, so I live the same every day of the week, and I don't basically live my work week for 2 weeks of vacation during the year. I work part-time 2 days a week, and I enjoy every day.
So let me understand. Symptoms of unhealthy eating versus causes of unhealthy eating. Okay. So in your mind, what do you think? I mean, the risk factors for unhealthy eating, there are a bunch of them. What do you think dominates people's lives? Why do you think people eat in an unhealthy way?
In my experience, just listening to people at the hospital and such, a lot of people are frustrated or unhappy, and then they try to stuff happiness into their lives with stuff, vacations, food that they think tastes good, rather than examining how they can truly work on their mindset to make themselves happier as a whole, and then everything else falls in place. The eating, the exercise, the relationships, and such.
All right, that's an interesting arena, because you're talking about psycho-emotional related causes, people trying to fill empty spaces, vacuums in their psycho-emotional life or their relational life or whatever, trying to fill it literally with food, which is an interesting metaphor, isn't it? That's a good point. Don't hang up. We come back. We'll talk some more. I'm talking with Dr. Audrey Ross and a caller from Largo, Florida, Joan, whom I know from being on the radio and always has good ideas. What do you mean you don't celebrate the holidays, Joan? Come on, we got to be happy, right? Come back. We'll talk a little bit more, and we'll explore this idea of finding a way to stay healthy through the holidays and some other useful tips that you can use.
At Canavest, we believe that the future of hemp is unlimited, and through innovative and responsible application and science, we will enhance the prosperity and well-being of our customers, employees, and communities. As pioneers, our long-term goal at Canavest is to locate hemp seed processing mills near to our future family of hemp farmers. These local factories will convert hemp seed into nutritious oil, protein powders, bread flour, and hemp meal. Canavest supports local efforts and believes that sustainability starts locally. Canavest was named one of the Nutritional Outlook's Best of 2014, and we are committed to pioneering the hemp revolution as the world's leading producer of quality hemp-derived CBD products. Resistance to change is in great part the result of trying to do today's job with yesterday's tools and with yesterday's concepts. The hemp revolution is here, and it's up to all of us to change perception and to impact policy. Will you join us in this movement? Learn more about the education and science behind Canavest at canavest.com.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray with a minute of important health news. One of my all-time favorite natural products is a special extract of licorice known as DGL. DGL is short for deglycyrrhizated licorice, but I tell my patients that it stands for darn good licorice. DGL is made by removing the compound in licorice that can raise blood pressure in some people. Double-blind clinical studies have shown DGL is quite useful in healing stomach and intestinal ulcers. In fact, in head-to-head studies, it has actually outperformed popular anti-ulcer drugs. But rather than inhibit the release of stomach acid, DGL stimulates the normal defense mechanisms that prevent ulcer formation and promote healing. Clinical studies have not only shown DGL to be extremely effective, but also that it is completely without side effects. Clearly, DGL is a better choice.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Canavest, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Well, welcome back. And Thanksgiving is, of course, this week, and it's some view it as the kickoff for the holidays. Some see Halloween as the start of the holiday season, but nevertheless, Thanksgiving will take place on this Thursday, and I will spend it with my daughter and my family. And you know, she will cook. She said I said we'd go out to eat, but she wanted to cook, so I'll go to Raleigh and see her and my grandson. And in talking about this theme, it puts in my head these ideas too. So I'm persuading myself as I'm trying to persuade you about these different nutritional strategies to invoke or use, not only during the holidays, but throughout the year. So it's on how. Focus on how. Practice conscious eating, practice portion control we talked about, eating slowly. It's a small win. It's not a big deal. It's not a huge strategy, but it's an interesting one. It's a small win. So it's important to remember that the principle that nutrition is just as behavioral in nature as it is biochemical. And it may take several attempts to learn to eat more slowly. My guest is Dr. Audrey Ross, educator for Country Life Vitamins, one of the best supplement companies on the planet. And Dr. Ross, welcome back. And you hear the Joan, who's calling in from Largo, you heard her comments. You know, these are small little strategies. You know, wait to go back for seconds. This is a small win. It's not a huge strategy. It's not going to change the world, but it could make a difference in how much food you're going to eat to practice portion control, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What about the idea of, I have in this article that I wrote, using smaller plates and flatware? People laugh when I tell them that. They don't.
I used to recommend that all the time. Get a smaller plate. The bigger the plate, the more you're going to eat.
I know. They say, well, that's not scientific. Well, guess what? Well, guess what? There was an article entitled, a study was entitled Ice Cream Illusions, Bowls, Spoons, and Self-Served Portions. It's a real study. I reference it in the article. And they talk about that when the study participants were given a 34-ounce bowl instead of a 17-ounce bowl, they served themselves 31% more ice cream. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm shocked. Oh, my God. So, Joan, do you have small plates and flatware at your house?
Yes, I do.
Imagine that. Yeah, you know, these aren't big. These aren't, you know, earth-shaking strategy. They're little things. They're small wins, but you'd be surprised they can make a difference, you know, using smaller plates and flatware. There's some research to support that. What do you mean you don't celebrate the holidays? What are you talking about? I don't believe you. Really? You don't?
No, really, I don't. But something I just wanted to mention, everything you mentioned is true and it's fabulous, but as I'm a firm believer in, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And when you long for the bigger closet, the bigger house, the bigger car, you're basically biting off more than you can chew.
No pun intended.
And I think that's the theme of a lot of Americans, and it's with their food, their lifestyle, their finances. And I just see it as a problem. A lot of my friends are really struggling with that.
Abundance, you know, in other words, seeking more than always seeking more, seeking more, seeking more. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a lack mindset. They never have enough, you know, clothes, food. Yet this country has more than most of the world. So yeah. I think I truly believe that if we work on our mindset and gratitude, true gratitude, not just once a year gratitude, I really believe that people will feel more happiness and thus take smaller bites and be grateful for what they have. I truly believe that.
No, I think that I like that, and I I've talked about gratitude. There's even some research to point out that when you practice gratitude, when you are more grateful, you tend to be healthier. You're so not only physically, but your social health is better. Your relationships are better. That's what Thanksgiving is about, too. It's about gratitude, giving thanks, right? I mean, that's the irony of it all, don't you think?
Absolutely. And myself, when I do celebrate, I celebrate Thanks Living because I'm a vegan.
Thanks living.
Yeah, so there is a celebration for vegans. We're not totally against holidays, but myself personally, I don't celebrate, but it is. It's about gratitude and whatever mindset you're in, to have gratitude for what you have, exactly.
How about that, Dr. Ross? Yeah, I like that. Thanks living. How about that?
I like thanks living. That's awesome, and that's how we should live every day. That's true. I agree with that 100%. It's attitude, and people do use food for comfort. You know, they might be unhappy, they'll go eat, and I see that happen a lot.
You know, I don't know you all that well, Dr. Ross, personally. I know you professionally. I've seen you. I know what you look like. I've talked to you in person. You've been on my show many times. You don't strike me as a person that takes things for granted. I don't see that in you.
No, I don't. I'm thankful every day for everything that I have, and am happy and learn that what I have is fine for me. I don't have to strive for more. Yes, I always want to do better, but that's not top of my list. Top of my list is my son, my family, and living gratefully every day.
Living gratefully. Yeah, I've often said it takes a certain amount of intelligence to know when you have it good enough, you know?
Well, and we don't have to necessarily just say, okay, and sit back and become complacent. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But that constant striving for, keeping up with the Joneses, if you will, that creates a lot of stress, and that's not healthy.
Yeah, it sounds like the theme that Joan was developing. Joan, I always appreciate your phone calls and your thoughts and your willingness to be disclosive and express your beliefs when you come on to the show. Thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving. And we'll come back. I like that idea. That's very nice, Joan. Thanks living. Give thanks for your life.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, humble beginnings, advancing wellness, never tested on animals. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Now Foods, our products work. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Well, one of the things that gets people into trouble, especially during the holidays, is this craving. It gets people into trouble all year long. But craving certain foods is a very real phenomenon. That's very real. The question is, where does the craving, from where does it stem? My guest is Dr. Audrey Ross. She's an educator for Country Life Vitamins. Dr. Ross, in your experience, in your clinical experience with patients and in your professional experience in teaching, educating, when you travel around the country for Country Life Vitamins, what have you learned? What do you know about this idea of craving certain foods? And is there anything that people can do from a dietary perspective or a dietary supplement perspective to quell the cravings, or are cravings so psycho-emotionally wired that there's not much you can do about it?
Well, there's been a lot of talk and research that sugar is as addictive as cocaine is. It's a chemical that happens in the system. It's that feel-good hormone. And when people consume sugar all the time, they want sugar all the time because the brain says, whoa, this is good stuff. This is comfort. This is great. So the cravings, it's very difficult to break that cycle. It's possible, but it's a challenge. So cravings do, and salt is the same thing. It's those things that affect the chemical in the brain. So when you try to break that cycle, just like getting off of a drug, it's a process. It just doesn't happen overnight. It's a process.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
The whole process there is getting that chemical reaction to be stimulated by something else, like blueberries or something that's more healthy and more beneficial, and to break that, to snip that cycle, that you don't want to have the sugars or the salts or the fats, that no longer is the need in that chemical reaction.
So, and usually the foods that people crave, they're not running around craving protein.
No.
They're usually craving some of the refined, processed carbohydrate-based foods that are loaded with salt, sugar, and fat, typically. And so I hear you saying that there are psychological causes of food cravings. People can be habituated to crave certain foods too. I don't know which comes first. That's a chicken or egg question. But
right.
I've often I hear experts talk about, read articles about certain herbs, certain compounds that people take in a dietary supplement form to quell cravings. What do you know about that?
Well, there are a lot of different things, and it's going to depend on the person. You always have to be cautious about the herbs and what you're doing for people based on if they're taking any medication, if they're doing something different, if they've got any other disease processes going on. So that would be on an individual basis. But yeah, there's other things that help the body metabolize some of those sugars, if you will. For example, monk fruit can change the way you taste things. There's a lot of different things that can be done to help the person through that.
Do you have, at Country Life, what are some of those herbs that are known to quell cravings? Do you have any supplements that have some of these different...
Well, we're more of the vitamin supplement. We do have some things that, like carb phaser, that help the body metabolize.
What's it called?
Carb phaser.
Carb phaser.
Mm-hmm. That helps the body with the carbohydrate metabolism. But what we focus on is good base nutrition. Getting your proper multi, like the real food organics, because that's food. Doing your B vitamins, the coenzyme B complex. Doing your probiotics and your digestive enzymes. A lot of problems happen, and you were talking earlier in your show about the digestive tract. If you digest your food properly, you will get the nutrition from it. When you don't digest it properly, you have these other side effects. You can get the leaky gut issue. There's a lot of things that can happen when you don't digest your food properly, which then can lead to other cravings.
I see.
Now, bad bacteria love sugar. So if you have, and I used to see this a lot, people who had high levels of candida or yeast in their system were craving sugars and carbohydrates.
Because those bacteria want to eat.
That's right, and they love that, so they make you want to eat that.
Okay, so you mentioned Carb Phaser. I want to talk about that for a second. I'm not familiar with that product. You have to educate me about that.
Well,
then you mentioned the B vitamins, and we'll come back to that. What is Carb Phaser? Is that Phaser spelled P-H-A-Z-E-R or S-E-R?
P-H-A-S-E-R.
Okay, Carb Phaser. What is that?
Well, we talk a lot about like the white kidney bean and helping. It's more just to help the body with the metabolization of carbohydrates. It's not for blood sugar or anything like that. It's more just to help the body. If you are consuming what you know is to be a lot of carbohydrates, then you want to look at it as, okay, what can I do? I know I messed up. What can I do? So with the Carb Phaser, which is one of the things that, like I said, is that help through glucose metabolism from your carbohydrates. When we look at what's in there, you're looking at the white kidney bean, and that was discussed over the last few years on how that does help with carbohydrate metabolism.
So white kidney bean extract, literally from white kidney beans. And what does it do? Does it moderate glucose levels in the bloodstream? Is that what it does, or what?
It helps with the metabolism of glucose. So your body can use up that glucose instead of storing it and setting it to fat or increasing blood sugar. It helps metabolize your glucose. It supports glucose metabolism. That's how we say it.
But what if the cell has become impervious to the insulin and the cell won't open up?
Then we have other issues.
Okay, so exactly, we have other issues. But the Carb Phaser helps metabolize glucose because the body doesn't, our biology is such that the body doesn't like to have a lot of glucose in the bloodstream at any given time, right?
Correct.
Okay. Correct. So Carb Phaser would be a supplement that would be useful in metabolizing the glucose. You mentioned the B vitamins. Do B vitamins quell appetite?
They help. Again, B vitamins do so much. They help with metabolization of food. They help with production of energy. That we think of B12 for energy. Well, there's more than just B12. They help with homocysteine levels. B vitamins don't necessarily quell hunger.
I see.
They provide the body with the nutrients necessary. Again, the body tries to stay in homeostasis, wants to stay in balance. When things are out of balance, other things go wrong. And
well, you said something there. That's a subtle statement, and some might think that is a little too nuanced. But that point that you just made, the body's two major agendas it has 24/7, every nanosecond of a person's life is one, it's always seeking energy, and two, it's always seeking to keep the body in balance. Those two things go hand in hand. It's not an understatement to say that it's so critical that the body strives to maintain balance. We'll be back, have the LTN Health Question of the Day.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Xenia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Xenia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Xenia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Xenia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Xenia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, collagen, and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you are strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Xenia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Xenia by name. Start taking Xenia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Hi, I'm Kate. I try to eat a healthy diet, but the irony of eating healthy foods, like broccoli or beans, is that even though they're healthy for us, they can still cause occasional digestive upsets. That's why I take a Digest Smart high-potency enzyme with every meal. Digest Smart is from Renew Life, the digestive care experts. It's the first digestive enzyme certified by Izyme, the International Enzyme Testing Program. Each capsule provides a full spectrum of 25 powerful plant-based raw enzymes to break down each major food group, including carbs, fats, proteins, and fiber. Digest Smart enzymes also feature targeted delivery capsules to reach your intestines, where 90% of digestion occurs. Digest Smart promotes more complete breakdown of the foods you eat and optimizes nutrient availability. Plus, it helps ease digestive upsets and supports your overall digestive health. Now that's really smart. Digest Smart is from the makers of Ultimate Flora Probiotics, and both are available in health food stores everywhere.
Is your fish oil wildly pure? New Chapter is proud to offer a whole food approach to fish oil, Whole Mega. Naturally pure 100% wild-caught salmon comes from the pristine waters of Alaska. Like extra virgin olive oil, the fresh-caught salmon for Whole Mega is pressed immediately after harvest. And that's all that's needed to deliver wild Alaskan salmon's whole complement of vital omega fatty acids. These omegas support your heart health. One serving of Whole Mega per day, 2 grams, has been clinically shown to help retain healthy triglyceride levels and to improve the omega-3 index, a studied marker of heart health. And did you know experts recommend consuming 2 to 3 servings of fish per week? So 1 week of Whole Mega delivers the omegas of 3 servings of wild Alaskan salmon. Discover the New Chapter difference, wildly pure Whole Mega. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local Fine Health food store.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN Health question of the day. If you have the right answer, you'll win a $25 supplement gift card. As it turns out, and there's a lot of literature on this, there are a number of different herbs and spices that can help with cravings. And cravings can be disaster during food cravings can be a disaster during the holidays. That's the last. I mean, that would be the last thing you need to have going on during the holidays. Now, there are many causes for food cravings. There are psycho-emotional reasons, there are physiological reasons, biochemical reasons, and so on. Even environmental reasons why behavioral reasons, environmental reasons why people crave certain foods. Nevertheless, there are certain herbs and spices that appear in the literature, and some are well known, some not so much, that will help cravings. Like, for example, cardamom. Do you know what cardamom is, Dr. Ross? Have you ever heard of?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I figured you would. It's light, slightly sweet, and cardamom. It's a popular herb, and the spice, it's a spice, resembles it's sort of like cinnamon, but a spicy version, if you will, of cinnamon. Has a vanilla lemon aroma, and is purported to help crave with food cravings. That's just one example, maybe well known to some, maybe not to others so much. Which of the following is reported in the literature to help food cravings? Which of the following herbs and spices? A, fenugreek. B, cinnamon. C, nutmeg. D, ginger. Or E, all of the above. Which of those herbs and spices is known to help with food cravings? A, fenugreek. B, nutmeg. C, cinnamon. D, nutmeg, and then ginger, or all of the above. So is it ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, or fenugreek? Which one of those, or is it all of them, that will help with food cravings? 877-897-8255. There's a hint. It usually takes several things to help quell food cravings. How did you know about cardamom?
Oh, that's an old thing that my great aunt used to do. She was pre-diabetic and loved her sweets. She was from Denmark, so loved her sweets.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that way early on when I was just a little girl.
So she took cardamom to help with her sweet cravings.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I'm gonna hazard a guess that you don't have a supplement with cardamom in it.
No.
Do you have any supplements that would have certain herbs or spices in them that would help with food cravings? I know that's a hard question, given all those.
Yeah, it's a hard question, and one that I don't want to just off the cuff.
Right. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I mean, I wouldn't expect you necessarily to know that. I know one thing. I know that if people eat enough, if they're not getting enough protein, they need to get more protein. But I know protein will help quell the appetite.
Yes, it will, and we've got a great protein.
I know you do. the Biochem product, right?
The Biochem whey protein isolate is awesome for vegetarians or for people who are lactose intolerant or have casein issues. The Biochem whey protein is phenomenal. We've got a sugar-free that's sweetened with stevia, and then we have the natural that doesn't have any sugar in. But what protein does, every cell in our body needs protein. So those cells, usually what happens is the cell is saying, I need nutrition, but the brain hears, I'm hungry, and then we just start grabbing food.
Right.
And that mindless eating happens because we're not eating nutritious food. Well, protein actually can get into that cell and say, hey, here I am to help work. What do we need to do?
Yeah, and it's Biochem is on the container, but Biochem is a subdivision of Country Life Vitamins, and it's Biochem 100% whey protein. It comes in different flavors. That's a terrific. That's one of the cleanest protein products out there. It's phenomenal. And if you're during the holidays, one strategy, one little tactic in trying to maintain, your appetite, your craving for food and overeating, is to maybe do a couple of protein shakes during the day, especially if you're going to be going to a party. Don't go on. That's another little small win. Don't go on an empty stomach. Maybe you drink a protein shake before you leave, and that you have a greater sense of fullness. So
right, I challenge everybody to do that because it does make a difference.
It does. Which of the following herbs and spices is known to help with food cravings? fenugreek, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, or all of the above. 877-897-8255. I rarely stump the audience. Which one of those? And we know cardamom does. And, of course, these, we use nutmeg during the holidays. We use cinnamon during the holidays. Unfortunately, we use ginger during the holidays. Unfortunately, sometimes those are mixed with with foods that are not so healthy. So it takes usually more than one thing, and this may be the case too. So there's a hint. 877-897-8255. Is it any one of those or all of the above? Fiber. That's an interesting tactic too. Consuming more fiber would help quell the appetite too, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Fiber does do that. We have a liquid fiber that's great. It has good taste to it, and that's something somebody might want to try as well before going out to
liquid
a party
fiber
or something.
What's the name of that product?
Fiber X.
Spell it.
Fiber X.
Oh, fiber, literally letter X.
Fiber. It's a liquid fiber.
A liquid fiber. How's it taste?
It's awesome.
Tastes good.
The problem is sometimes people go, oh, this tastes really good, and then they'll take too much, and we know what happens with too much fiber.
Yeah.
And to create a little bit of gas. So take it as directed, but it does. It tastes wonderful. And I know a lot of people that will add it to their smoothies or put it in their protein shakes.
Well, that's a good idea. That product's been around a while.
It's been around a long time. It's forgotten because people don't think of liquid fiber.
I don't recall you ever mentioning it on the show.
I don't think you've ever asked me.
Well, I did now. Well, that's why you didn't mention it.
That's right. I follow your lead.
Well, thank you. Fiber X by Country Life Bio. It's a liquid fiber. Let's go to Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Becky, which of those herbs and spice... Oh, she dropped off? All right. Call back, Becky. I know you probably have the right answer, and call back. If I'm off the air, Stephen will give you credit, and we'll send you the $25 gift card. But Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin is one of the areas in which the show plays, and we're very grateful.
Oh, my home state. I grew up in Wisconsin.
There you go. Thank you so much for being on, Dr. Ross. And take Country Life Vitamins. Why? Because your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.